Hello everyone. Today we will start Unit 1, Module 2, in which we will study about advanced IPA transcription. Okay. So what is advanced IPA transcription? So welcome to our deep dive into advanced IPA transcription. Over the next cards, we'll explore the international phonetic alphabets, transcription, and vowels and consonants, and discuss advanced techniques. Okay, so let's start. Overview of the International Phonetic Alphabet, that is IPA. Now what is IPA? The International Phonetic Alphabet is a standard system for transcribing the sounds of spoken language using a set of symbols. Okay, so it's a mode of transcribing sounds into symbols. Okay, now what is the purpose of IPA? IPA enables precise documentation of pronunciation, okay, facilitates language learning, and supports linguistic research and analysis. So it is like a precise documentation of sounds. Okay, you can have any symbol of any sound, and it is also important in linguistic research and analysis. Next is broad versus narrow transcription. Now, broad transcription captures general pronunciation, while narrow transcription records um, even the smallest phonetic details. Okay, so broad is general pronunciations, while narrow checks the smallest phonetic details also. Next is IPA symbols and their uses. Okay, so first are vowel symbols. IPA has over 20 vowel symbols representing different tongue positions and lip shapes. Okay, now IPA, International Phonetic in Alphabets, have 20 vowel systems. Okay, like a normal alphabet has A, E, I, O, U, 5 vowels. But here when we are talking about transcription and international phonetic alphabet, then there are 20 vowel symbols. Okay, 20 sounds that are coming like a vowel sound. Okay, next is consonant symbols. The 24 consonant symbols capture place, manner, and voicing differences in articulations. Now there are 24 consonant symbols which captures place, manner, and voicing differences in articulation. Okay, next is diacritic marks. Okay, additional diacritic marks can modify vowels and consonants to indicate subtle phonetic details. Now, very subtle phonetic details can be checked by modifying vowel and consonant sounds. Okay. So now we will know about describing vowel sound. So first is identifying vowel height. So use high, mid and low vowel symbols based on tongue position during articulation. So while you're articulating, means while you're talking, you have to note down the tongue position, whether it's high, mid or low. Through with that, we can provide symbols to high vowel, low and mid vowel sounds. Okay, so that is identifying vowel height. Then distinguishing vowel length. Note if a vowel is long or short by using the appropriate symbol. Okay, now you have to note down whether a vowel is long or whether a vowel is short, okay, using the appropriate symbol. Then comes transcribing diphthongs. Now represent gliding vowel sounds that move from one vowel to another. What are diphthongs? That the vowel sounds that are gliding from one vowel sounds to another. Okay, that are diphthongs, and you have to represent them, that is transcribing diphthongs. Then accounting for rhoticity. Indicate if a vowel is pronounced with a R sound. What is rhoticity? When a vowel is pronounced with a R sound. So that is accounting for rhoticity. Okay. Now starting with transcribing consonant sounds. Okay, so first are plosive consonants. Transcribe stops like P, T, K that involve complete closure of the vocal tract. When we say P, T and K, we are completely closing the vocal tracts. Like what are vocal tracts? Lips is a vocal tract. Okay, it's a tract where the sound moves out. Okay, so when we are saying P, the lips are getting fully closed. Okay, P. So lips are getting fully closed. When we are saying T, so our tongue touches our upper part of the mouth. Okay, that is T, and that part is fully closed. Then K. K, both the upper part and lower part of the neck here, it gets completely blocked when we say K. Okay. Then fricative consonants represent consonants like F, S that involves airflow through a narrow opening. When we say F, then air flows through a narrow opening. When we say S, then air flow through a narrow opening. Then nasal consonants. Use symbols like M, N for consonants involving air flow through the nasal cavity. When we say M, the air is flowing through the nasal cavity. When we say N, the air is flowing through the nasal cavity. Then approximant consonants. Okay, transcribe sounds like W, Y, I that produce without turbulent airflow. Okay, now while we say W, Y, I, there are no turbulent airflow. Nothing is like coming out from a small opening, or nothing is getting blocked. It's just without any turbulence. Okay. Next is diacritical marks and their applications. Now first is we see that this arrow. Okay, so this is known as length markers. Use macrons and brews to indicate long and short vowels. So with these arrows we use this to indicate long and short vowels. Okay, then X with power of 1. Okay, superscript diacritics it's known as, and diacritics above letters to modify sounds like palatalization or aspiration. Okay, then X with 1 down, it is known as subscripts diacritics. The upper one was known as superscript, the lower one is known as subscript. Place diacritics below letters to indicate secondary articulations. Now when we place diacritics, that is 1 below the alphabet, it tell us about the secondary articulation. Then this wave, it's known as tiled diacritics. Okay, the tiled mode modifies nasalization of vowels and consonant. It modifies the nasalization of vowels and consonants. Next are challenges in advanced IPA transcription. Now what are the challenges when we are doing advanced IPA transcription? First is dialectical variations. According for regional, like when we are coming from a different region, we have dialect problem. Okay, our dialect are different, Americans have different dialects. So now we will have a problem in their sound systems and transcribing their sound systems. Next is corticulation effects. Sounds can be modified by neighboring tones leading to complex transcription. Okay, so sounds can be modified by neighboring, like if I'm friends with someone else, someone from coming from Bengal, so I may have the mix of their phonetics or mix of their sounds in my speech. Okay, then surpass mental features. Okay, factors like now factors like stress, tone and intonation can be a challenge in IPA transcription, because not everyone has the same stress symbol or has the same stress management or tone managing thing. Anyone can articulate a word in a different style of stress, and I can articulate that same word in a different style of stress, so the transcription becomes tough. So what can be the best practices? You have to memorize. Okay, so as I said, you have to memorize. Okay, your memory should be strong. Then you have to be very precise about it. Okay, then resourcefulness, you have to have so many resources. Okay, and your context should be clear while transcribing. You should know what the other person was talking about. Okay, thank you very much.